like likelihood of any event. So if any event is going to be occurred, so what is the probability it will happen? Okay. So in data science, suppose in machine learning, we predict we predict things based on past value. So in machine learning, we predict things based on past values. Okay? So with the help of probability, whatever the things we predicted, the amount of correctness we can check it out. Okay. Suppose we need to predict tomorrow it will be rain or it won't be rain. Okay. Suppose rain, no rain. So we'll tell our model to predict the probability whether tomorrow will be rain or not at given condition, and based on my past values and at my given condition whether tomorrow the rain will happen or it won't happen. So it will say, okay, there are chances, there are 0.7% of chances or 70% of chances that tomorrow it will rain, and rest 0.3% of chance it won't rain. So here the probability comes into the picture in data science, whether it tells us whether any event will occur or not. Okay. So this is about probability. Now here there are two rules. Okay, one is called additional rule. This all the terms you might have heard in class 12th or 11th. So you have to just revise it. In additional rule, it's like probability or events. Or events. First, in additional rule, first is exclusive. Can anybody remind you what is mutual exclusive event? Anything? If you remember.
Independent of each other, sir.
Independent to each other. Okay. Anyone else? So mutual exclusive means two events cannot occur at same time. So, for example, either it will rain or either it won't rain. But as I thought it won't happen now. It will rain and it won't rain. So, suppose if we roll a die, what is the probability we say getting one or two or three or four? We cannot say what is the probability of getting one and two. One or two we can say, but one and two it's not possible. Okay, not possible. So any two events are mutually exclusive if they cannot occur at same time. So probability of getting two and probability of getting one at a single roll of dice, it's not possible. So these are mutual exclusive event. Clear? Okay. So if I want to find out what is the probability of getting 2 and 1, so I'll write, so probability of getting 2 and 1 will be probability of 2 plus probability of 1. So means it will be 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 3. So here two events, they are mutually exclusive. It means they cannot occur at the same time. The way both are independent events. Okay. Now there is one more term which is called non-mutual exclusive event. non-mutual exclusive. This you need to know because whenever you are reading any data science or algorithm paper, it will say ki, this model uses non-mutually exclusive probability to find the output of a given model. So this type of terms you need to know it, okay? And in industry you won't able to hear like, okay, this is continuous data, this is discrete data, this is categorical data. You will hear, but the most of the time you will hear something, that's an ordinal data, that's an interval data, oh that is nominal data. So as I told you what is nominal, interval, ratio and everything data. So you need to know the terms, okay? You might be thinking what is the use of it, but you should know the terms.
मैं तो इधर ही सोऊंगा बाहर, ठंड गर्मी में नहीं सो जाएगा।
So, second is non-mutual exclusive. Non-mutual exclusive का एक एग्जांपल दो, ठीक है? Non-mutual का क्या सेम, it can occur at the same time, two events can occur at the same time. चलो इसके एक एग्जांपल दो, फॉर्मूला राइट, A और B, P of A plus P of B minus P intersection. चलो इसके एक एग्जांपल दो। In a pack of cards, picking a card randomly, what is the probability of getting a card which is a queen or a heart? Which is a queen or a heart. Okay. So one thing can be there. Queen kitna total queen? How much total queens are there? 4 queens. How many hearts are there? 13. ठीक है, तो क्या हुआ? 4/52 plus 13/52 1/13 plus 4 minus 8 intersection B 8. So one queen will always belong to heart. ठीक है, in out of this 13, one will belong to a queen. ठीक है, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 J and Q. So one card will be queen. So here क्या था? Getting a queen or getting a heart. So but in a single event this both can happen when my card is queen of hearts. Okay, that is called non-mutual exclusive. In a single event, two things can happen. Two events can happen at the same time, getting a queen and getting a heart at a, while drawing a single card. So this is called non-mutual event. For non-mutual exclusive, non-mutual exclusive events, this is the formula. But for mutual exclusive, it is just an additional rule, P of A plus P of B. Okay. So this is all under additional rule. Let's see what multiplication rule states. Okay. So have you heard about independent events and non-independent events?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One is independent and other is dependent. So let's guys see there is one algorithm which is called naive bias. Okay. Bias theorem सुना है ना? 12th में. So with this there is one algorithm which is called naive bias. Algorithm ka maths I'll explain when I was talking about the machine learning algorithm and the maths behind it. But I'll tell you from which theorem it came out. Independent events. What is independent events? Each and every event is independent to each other. For example, tossing a coin, okay? Tossing a coin and getting heads. So it's an independent event because if you have a fair coin, so getting a tail doesn't matter whether you're getting a head or not. Okay, so they both are independent events. Clear? Okay. So one more example I'll say. Okay, what is the probability of rolling a die and getting a 5, then a 4 in a dice? ठीक है, पहले तो 5, then 4. ठीक है, so how I will do? Getting a 5 means 1 by 6. Getting a 4 is 1 by 6. 1 by 36. So the chances of getting 5, then 4 is 1 by 36. Okay, these are independent events because my getting 4 is not related with 5. Means if I get 5, it won't impact my 4. If I get 5, suppose this is my first time, okay? First I roll the dice. Rolling my dice for the first time won't affect that rolling my dice on the second time. Okay, so this both the event. The first event is rolling a dice for the first time, and the second event is rolling a dice for the second time. So my second event is not getting affected by the first event. So they both are independent events. So when the both are independent event, you can simply cross multiply. Okay, you can simply cross multiply, and you can get the probability value. Okay, then there is something called dependent events. Okay, which is very useful in our case. What is dependent event? For example, what is the probability of drawing a queen, then a aces from a pack of cards? Okay. So here you see, if you are doing, there are two terms, with replacement and without replacement. Okay. So if you are doing with replacement, then it becomes independent events. But if you are doing non-replacement, it becomes independent because my first thing is affected by second. Okay. So for example, yeah. For example, getting a ace, then a queen. So first getting a aces will be 4 by 52. Then getting uh getting a queen. Getting a queen. ना? क्या पूछा था यार? Okay. What is the probability of drawing a queen? Drawing a queen, and then aces of cards from a deck. So queen निकालना है. Queen पे क्या होगा? 152. Then aces of cards. Aces. So it will be 4 by 51. So it will be like this: P of B by A, which is P of A, P of A and B. So P of A and B is B happened. So this is probability of B given that A has already happened. So this is called conditional probability. Okay. So what is the probability of B given that A is already happened? Okay. So if it already happened, out of my 4, out of the 52 cards, one card is already down, which is B. So the remaining card is 51, and it is non-replacement. We are not replacing the card. Okay. If once you drawn it, saw it, then put it back. No, it's without replacement. One more example I'll give you. Okay. Suppose you have this is suppose you have a pack of bag. Suppose you have a bag having 2 red balls. Three black balls. Black. So what is the probability of drawing a green ball? 3 by 5. We can keep it. Now, what is the probability of drawing a red ball? Now, this is already happened. P of A. Now, probability of B, given that A is already happened, so it will be 2 by 4. Okay. Now, this is my new probability. 1 by 2. Okay. Because one event has already happened, so this is called conditional probability. Guys, clear? Concept of probability. That's enough. If you know this much, then you are good to go to learn about bias theory, naive bias and bias theory. Say yes or no. You have understood.
Yes, sir.
उसके बाद we have permutation combination. So I won't write formula. Formula बाद में we can also. Okay, so I will write formula. That's all. Suppose for combination, what is permutation? I'll explain. Formula is NPR. Given that in factorial by n minus r factorial. Combination is there. NCR. So the formula n factorial by r factorial n minus r factorial. Example I'll give you. Suppose 6 people are sitting. Okay. 6 people are there. Take a 6 and how many people are there here in the class? Okay. 15 people are there and 15 chairs are there. So in how many ways out of the 15 I can arrange the sitting arrangement? Okay. पहले कौन आएगा? Let's say for example first Swagita, then Abhinandan. So ऐसे if I arrange first who will come, second who will come, then there may be chances कि first he will come, then he will come. So all of these sitting arrangements, if you want to require, you can get it with the help of permutation. And from 6 people, suppose, and out of this 13 people, okay, we have arranged, and out of this 13 people, I want to select 2 people out of this group for a data science interview. Randomly, I want to take 2 people. So what is the probability of getting this 2? Okay. So that is called combination. Okay. Kitna combinations I can take it up. So basically, permutation is arrangement or an order, or combination is getting selected. Refers to कैसे select करते हैं, ठीक है? इतना याद रखो हमेशा. Whenever you are getting confused with permutation and combination, कि permutation हमेशा आएगा वो arrangement होगा. जब भी ये some questions are there in the mathematics about arrangement, always you should apply permutation. Whenever there is a question start with what is the probability of getting selected, हमेशा याद रखो combination लगेगा, ठीक है? Because I had this confusion कि तब combination लगाना तब permutation लगाना. चलो बताओ कितना you are clear?
Yes, sir.
अभी होगा real thing. तो let's so what is null hypothesis and what is alternate hypothesis? Okay, first we will see hypothesis. एक मिनट. I will try to get it some materials are available.
साउंड म्यूट हो गया क्या सर आपके में भी? साउंड म्यूट कर गया क्या?
So we'll see this. See what is null and alternate hypothesis. Then the statistics, level of significance. It's all little things we will see. Okay. So introduction statistics are estimated in For example, here to determine the cancer rate in USA, it is not feasible to collect data for entire USA population. Ideally, we should select a representative sample, then exploit result for the entire population. The process of inferring about a population from a sample is known as statistical inference. ठीक है? मतलब क्या है? कि suppose this is population, we are taking sample. ये check करना whether this sample is readily talks about the population or not. Okay, that inference is known as statistical inference. Any assumption or statement about the population from the sample is called statistical hypothesis. And the procedure of test the hypothesis which enables us to decide certain hypothesis is true or not is called hypothesis testing or test of significance. Okay, now what is this? Okay. So what is telling? Suppose by seeing this, I have sample data. I'm telling here by seeing the sample data, I can say in India, males are eating more tobacco than females. Okay? Males are eating more tobacco than females. How this I got? From the sample data set, I checked, I got the males are eating more tobacco than females. So what is my null hypothesis? Males are eating more tobacco. Alternate hypothesis, इसका उल्टा, males are not eating more tobacco. Okay, so what I'll do, I will not test it. कैसे टेस्ट करेंगे? इसका अलग अलग वे है. There are multiple things which I told you: Z test, T test, or chi-square test, correlation test, ANOVA test. Multiple things are there. So अलग-अलग test we will do. So this is called null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. ठीक है? So mainly if your test result comes correct, so we will say okay, we accept your null hypothesis. Or if your null hypothesis is getting wrong with the test statistics, we will say we are fail to accept null hypothesis. There is a difference, you see. I'm not telling I'm accepting alternate hypothesis. I'm telling I fail to accept null hypothesis. Okay? Never say I accept alternate hypothesis, because alternate hypothesis mein we are nothing. Iska just viparit, alag, ulta. We say we fail to accept null hypothesis, we accept null hypothesis. Okay? This is called hypothesis testing. See, if you go into the company or if you're working in some projects, okay, they will tell you to perform some operations. After performing some operations, you tell, okay, this is the thing. They will ask you, show me the numbers. So at that time, you should show, okay, by doing my test statistics, I got my null hypothesis is this and my alternate hypothesis is this. And because of the number and because of this test, I can assure whatever I'm telling is true. Okay. Whatever my assumptions are there, it's true. So see guys, we have we have completed descriptive statistics, and now we entered in inferential stats, where we are talking about hypothesis and test analysis. So you clear what is the difference between inferential and descriptive statistics? In the starting, we have mentioned now what is descriptive and what is inferential. बताओ.
सर वो हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन कर दो सर उसे.
किसको एक्सप्लेन करना है, क्या को एक्सप्लेन करना है?
सर इंफरेंशियल स्टडीज.
देखो इंफरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स क्या है ना, मुझे ना देख के लगा ये क्लास में, फॉर एग्जांपल, ठीक है, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल. सपोज इन द क्लास आई एम टेलिंग, मेरे को लगता है आई सॉ 2-3 मार्क्स, ठीक है, तुम लोगों का मार्क्स आई गॉट फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्सिटी. आई सॉ, आई टोल्ड आउट ऑफ 4 Ashwin tops the class always. Whenever I take the test, Ashwin will top. ठीक है, ये मेरा हाइपोथेसिस है कि whenever I take the test, Ashwin will top it. ठीक है, so ऐसे तो I cannot tell. This is my hypothesis. I took 2-3 samples and I'm telling it. So I need to prove it. मैं proof कैसे करूँगा अपना बात को? तो मैं क्या करूँगा? टेस्ट करूँगा. स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट. स्टैटिस्टिक्स में बहुत सारा टेस्ट होता है, जैसे कि Z टेस्ट हो गया, T टेस्ट हो गया, ANOVA टेस्ट हो गया, देन कोरिलेशन टेस्ट हो गया, टाई स्क्वायर टेस्ट हो गया. तो ऐसे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप के अलग अलग टेस्ट है, अलग अलग चीज के लिए. तो मैं उसमें से टेस्ट करूंगा, और मेरा अगर टेस्ट बोलता है, ठीक है, मैं टेस्ट करूंगा और टेस्ट बोलता है कि हाँ नहीं, अश्विन हर बार टॉप नहीं करता, अश्विन टॉपर है बट वो हर बार टॉप नहीं कर सकता. तो मैंने क्या एज्यूम किया था कि अश्विन हर बार टॉप करेगा, बट टेस्ट क्या बोला? नहीं, अश्विन हर बार टॉप नहीं करेगा. तो व्हाट इज माय नल हाइपोथेसिस? Ashwin will top always. And what is my alternate hypothesis? No, Ashwin will top it always. ठीक है. So after the test, ठीक है, ये टेस्ट अच्छा टेस्ट कंफ्यूज हो गया.
सर आप राइटिंग पैड ले लीजिए सर, कुछ समझ नहीं आता सर लिखने में से. तो
क्या करूं?
जो राइटिंग पैड होता है ना, वही वाला
दिला दो यार.
We can't understand what you are writing, sir.
So I'm also telling ना कि what I'm writing.
सर एक बार आप आगे चले जाते हैं सर, तो होता है ना कभी कभी मिसमैच होता है, तो फिर पीछे का समझ नहीं आता सर कभी कभी.
पूछ लिया करो. ठीक है, ठीक है, I'll try to write clearly. मैं ट्राई करूंगा सही से लिखने का. अच्छा ये बताओ, समझ में आया व्हाट इज हाइपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग और क्यों करता है हाइपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग?
यस सर.
एंड व्हाट इज इंफरेंशियल स्टैट्स? समझ में आया?
यस सर.
Okay, let's see this example also. A researcher thinks that if a knee surgery patient go to the physical therapy twice in a week instead of 3 times, their recovery period will be longer. Average recovery time for the surgery is 8.2 weeks. The hypothesis in this question is the researcher believe the recovery time is more than 8.2 weeks. एक बार पढ़ो. If you don't understand, I will explain.
सर आप इस पीडीएफ को ग्रुप में प्रोवाइड करा सकते हैं?
नहीं नहीं नहीं. Maybe I can make out or do something out of this PPT or PDF and I can show, but I cannot share. यार ये थोड़ा confidential PPT है, ऐसे में शेयर नहीं करता. Even I cannot able to show this. तो ना बोलता है कि if वीक में if he goes to therapy 2 times instead of 3 times, उसका जो पीरियड ऑफ रिकवरी होगा इट विल बी लॉन्गर. एवरेज होता है 8.2 वीक्स, बट इफ ही गोज ओनली 2 टाइम्स इन अ वीक, द एवरेज रिकवरी टाइम विल बी मोर देन 8.2 वीक्स. ठीक है, ये लगेगा ओके, ये तो करेक्ट है. अगर इफ यू गो लेस टाइम्स इन अ वीक द रिकवरी पीरियड विल बी मोर, बट ये तो अपना इंट्यूशन है एंड वी नो दिस, बट to prove it with numbers we do hypothesis testing. So hypothesis testing is a way to test the result of a survey or experiment to we have a meaningful result. It tests whether the results are valid by figuring out that the odds of result are happened by chance. ये टेस्ट करने के लिए कि this is not happened by chance but numbers also speaks. ठीक है, if you do go with the numbers also, it will come कि if you go by only twice a week it will take more time. ठीक है, it's not by chance. Here you see average recovery time, और null hypothesis को कैसे denote करते हैं H0, and if you want to denote alternate hypothesis we denote by H1. ठीक है, कैसे denote करते हैं null hypothesis को H0, alternate को H1. Okay, so average recovery time more than 2 weeks. ठीक है, hypothesis ठीक है. Here they said alternate hypothesis can be one side or two side. For example, ठीक है, remember we do tail z test में we found the z value. वहां पे क्या था, I have given one value, I told you average IQ कितना 100 है, average IQ 100 है. What is whatever the percentage of chances कि it will be below 85. ठीक है, with a given mean of 100 and the standard deviation of 15. ठीक है, so I told you if this is mean, so with the standard deviation of 15, what are the chances, what are the percentage of people they have IQ lower than 85. ठीक है, here what I did, here only we have only one tail because यहाँ पे क्या था, lower than only one side. But if I say whatever the chances कि the ratio lies between 50 to 85, what percentage of people have IQ between 50 to 85? So there are two tails. Less than 50, I need more than 50 and less than 85. ठीक है, so I have two reasons. ये वाला, so this is two tail test. Okay, so my hypothesis can be one tail test or two tail test. Okay, here the alternative hypothesis can be one tail or two tail. Clear? बोलो, देखो यहाँ पे alternate hypothesis क्या है, average recovery time. If I go 2 times in a week, I will get recovered at 8.2 weeks. ठीक है, even though I go twice in a week instead of 3 times, I will get recover in 8.2 weeks. Alternate क्या बोलते हैं, no. If you go 2 times, your average recovery time will be more than 8.2. That's why na average recovery time, if it is more than 8.2, then the value will be greater than 0. So you understand how why this equation has been written like this. ठीक है, clear or not? Now the test statistics. It is a function of sample observation whose compound value determines the decision regarding the hypothesis system. The appropriate statistic depends on the sample distribution and the hypothesis. क्या होता है, we will do the distribution और उसके बाद sample distribution करने के बाद we will find some test statistics value And if the value found in the critical region, it's okay if you don't. It's more little more deeper.